Good morning and Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I am Matiar. Welcome you again to my online class held by Gaibandha Govt Boys High School. Dear friends, today I am going to teach you in the second paper for the student of class 6 to 10. Okay, dear, let's get started. Welcome. Here's my identity, you can see here. I'm Rahman, as teacher in English, Gaibandha Govt Boys High School. Subject English second paper, class 6 to 10. Lesson transformation of sentences. Today I am going to discuss affirmative into negative and assertive into interrogative. Okay, dear students, let's get started. Dear friends, let's see the slide. If you find a sentence, assertive sentence or affirmative sentence with only and if only denotes person or Allah, we can use none but plus their subject. As for example, only Allah can help us. The negative form will be none but Allah can help us. And if you find affirmative sentence with only or merely, and if only or merely denotes any object. As for example, he has only a passport. Here passport is an object. In that case, instead of object, instead of only and merely, and if only and merely refers to any object, in that case we will use nothing but instead of only or merely. So we will transform the sentence he has only a passport into negative, he has nothing but a passport. Okay, let's go to the next rule. If only refers to age or number, in that case instead of only we can use not more than or not less than. As for example, he is only 20, he is only 20. The negative form will be is not more than 20, or we can say he is not less than 20. He is not less than 20 or he is not more than 20. Okay, next rule. If you find any affirmative sentence with must or have to or has to, you can change the must or have to or has to into negative by using cannot but or cannot fail plus not plus ing. As for example, you can't but obey your parents, you can't help obeying your friends. And if you find any affirmative sentence form of or with both dotted and or just and, as for example, is both a player and a singer, the negative form of the sentence can be is not only player but also a singer. So now let's go on to the next rule. If you find any affirmative sentence with every or all, as for example, every mother loves a child, the negative form can be there is no dot part or plus part. As for example, there is no mother but loves a child. There is no mother but loves a child. Or the form can be, the negative form can be different from the first one. As for example, no mother hates her child. Every mother loves her child. The negative form can be no mother hates her child. Next rule, every dot has or had. As for example, every rose has a thorn. Here the negative form can be there is no rose but has a thorn. Every rose has a thorn. There is no rose without but has a thorn. Or this can be no rose is without a thorn. No rose is without a thorn. Now, if we find in a sentence, any affirmative sentence with as soon as or scarcely had dot when or hardly had dot when. As soon as he saw me, he ran away. This can be no sooner had he seen me than he ran away. Okay, next rule. Affirmative word as leading word. That means if you find any most important word in affirmative form, and if you want to change it to negative, you will have to use not plus antonym word of the leading word. I shall remember you. Here, remember is the leading word of the sentence. So, the negative form will be, I shall not forget you. Here, not plus forget is equal to remember. Okay, dear friends. Let's go on to the next slide. Always plus affirmative word. The negative form will be never plus antonym. So, never is the opposite word of always, and antonym of the affirmative word is to be used here. I am always agreed with him. The negative form is I never disagreed with him. So perhaps the rule is much more less it and easier. Let's go on to the next rule. 2 plus 2. We generally can find this structure in simple sentence 2 plus 2. So if we want to transform it into negative one, we'll have to follow this structure. Subject plus verb plus so, adjective adverb plus that plus subject plus cannot or could not plus V1 of the verb. As for example, he is too weak to work. The negative form will be he is so weak that he cannot work. Here, one point that is that you should follow. If the first verb, if the verb in present form, you can use cannot plus base form the verb. But if you find the first verb in past form, then you will have to use could not plus V1 form of the base verb. As for example, main verb basically. He was too short to touch the roof. The negative form can be he was so short that he couldn't walk, or he was so short that he could not touch the roof. Basically, he was so short that he could not touch the roof. The sentence can be correctly spoken by saying he was so short that he could not touch the roof. Basically, could not touch the roof. Then 2 plus adjective or adverb plus 4 plus noun or pronoun or noun phrase plus 2 plus verb. Their throats were too dry for them to speak. Their throats were too dry for them to speak. The negative form can be their throats were so dry that they could not speak. Here the difference you can see, both the subject, here the first subject is different from the second subject. Dear students, you can see their throats is the first subject, and in the negative form you will have to use the subject form of the objective word them or the object word after for. So their throats were too dry for them to speak. The negative form would be their throats were so dry that they could not speak. Next one, sometimes, not always. The negative form will be not always. He is sometimes lazy. The negative form of the affirmative sentence will be is not always lazy. Then as plus s. He is as wise as Rahman. The negative form, in negative form we will use not or no less than. For example, he is not less wise than Rahman. He is not less wise than Rahman. Then next one. He is the best boy in the class. You can say that this is the sentence in which there is the use of superlative degree. He is the best boy in the class. The structure can be exemplified as subject plus verb plus the plus superlative degree. SD means superlative degree plus noun or noun equivalent. Is the best boy in the class. Now here noun or noun equivalent words. So the negative form can be started with no other. That means the total superlative degree, sentence of superlative degree should be transformed into positive one. So in that case, we will start with no other. No other plus noun plus OW plus verb plus so plus positive degree plus S plus first subject. So the negative form can be no other boy in the class is so good as he. No other boy in the class is so good as he. Now, subject plus verb plus comparative degree plus than plus noun or pronoun is better than Rohim. In this case, the negative form can be Rohim is not so good as he. Rohim is not so good as he. So, what's the difference you can see? The word that has been used after then has become the subject in the negative sentence. He is better than Rohim. Here, Rohim is the last noun or pronoun word which has been used after then. But in negative sentence, the sentence has been started with the last noun or pronoun word. So, Rohim is not so good as he. Here, the first subject word in the affirmative sentence has become the last word after as. Rohim is not as good or so good as he. As good or so good as he. Dear friends, one point that you should keep in your memory is that in negative sentence we generally use so dot dot as, but you can also use as plus as. But generally so plus as is generally encouraged to use. Had to. If you find sentence with had to, the negative form can be could not but or yes, could not but. As for example, I had to go there, the negative sentence can be I could not but go there. I could not but go there. Next one, hardly, seldom, rarely. Hardly, seldom, rarely. So, the negative form of the hardly, seldom or rarely can be not very often or not always. This bird is hardly seen. This bird is hardly seen. The negative sentence of this affirmative sentence can be this bird is not very often seen. This bird is not very often seen. Then many. If you find any sentence with many, affirmative sentence with many, in negative form you can use not a few. He has many friends. He has not a few friends. He has not a few friends. Dear friends, let's go on to the next slide. If you find a sentence, affirmative sentence with a little, you can use not much instead of a little. As for example, he has a little wealth or resources or yes, resources. So the negative sentence can be he has not much wealth, not much. Instead of a little, we can use not much. So he has a little wealth, he has not much wealth. Then not a little. Instead of not a little, we can use much. So here the rule is though different from the desired one, but just for your cognizance or just for your learning, I've just tried to use it here. Though the first sentence is negative one and the affirmative has been described later on, so I will try to deliberate it again for your better understanding. If you find an affirmative sentence with mass, you will have to use not a little. Not a little. He has mass wealth. The negative form can be he has not a little wealth. This is the inversion of the first one. Okay, you can easily understand it. And if you find any sentence with failed to or failed to, the negative form should be started. The negative form can be especially he failed to catch the train. He failed to catch the train. He could not catch the train. So when the word will be failed to in present form, you should use cannot instead of fail to. And if you get failed to In that case, you will have to use could not. Could not plus V1 of the verb. He failed to catch the train, he could not catch the train. Okay? And if you get any sentence, affirmative sentence with oblique by plus preposition, with or by plus person or object. As for example, a man with a good qualification is wanted. In negative form, we will use without. Instead of with, we will use without, or by plus person or object, we will use without. As for example, a man with a good qualification is wanted. The negative form will be a man without a good qualification is not wanted. A man with a good qualification is wanted. A man without a good qualification is not wanted. So, dear friends, perhaps I've been able to make you understand the basic rules of affirmative sentence into negative. Now, I am willing to show you the rules of assertive sentence into interrogative, but before that, I want to tell you that the very efficiency of acquiring skill on transformation or every type of grammatical test item will depend on your frequent practice. The more you will practice, the more you will skilled in solving this type of problem. So the much more importance to be given on your frequent practicing of the exercise related to this type of test item. Okay, the more you will practice, the more you will get skilled. So dear friends, let's go on to the next type of transformation. My present task is on assertive into interrogative. So friends, sometimes there are some sentences, assertive sentences, which you will have to be asked, or you will have to transform from assertive into interrogative. So I have endeavored to show you some important rules or most basic rules of assertive into interrogative. Dear friends, let's see. If you want to transform an assertive sentence like he's coming, you have the boy, he helps me, you will have to transform this into interrogative negative. Isn't he coming? Don't you help the boy? Doesn't he help me? That means if you find any assertive sentence with no more exceptional rules, you can transform them into interrogative and the sentence will be an interrogative one. Next rule. Negative. He is not coming. If you find a sentence with negative structure, he is not coming, you will have to just transform it into affirmative interrogative. That means no or not is to be omitted. He is not coming. The interrogative form will be is he coming? We have omitted not from this sentence. Is he coming? Never. He never drinks tea. Does he ever drink tea? So instead of never, we will use ever in the negative sentence, in the interrogative sentence. He never drinks tea. Does he ever drink tea? And then nothing. Instead of nothing, we will use anything. I had nothing to do. Had I anything to do? Had I anything to do? So, dear friends, you can easily see that instead of nothing, we have used anything. For using anything, the sentence has become affirmative, and as the sentence is to be transformed to interrogative, we have used had at the outside of the sentence. Had I anything to do? I had nothing to do. Had I anything to do? Okay. Next rule. everybody, everyone, or all. If any sentence starts with everybody, everyone, all, we'll use who doesn't or didn't. All love flowers. Who doesn't love flowers? Who doesn't love flowers? Okay, dear friends. And if you find as a sentence with nobody, none, or no one, you will just use who instead of nobody, none, or no one. Nobody believed him. Who believed him? Who believed him? Okay. Then every plus noun plus verb present. Every man loves flowers. The interrogative form will be is there any? Is there any plus noun plus who doesn't? So the interrogative form of this sentence every man loves flowers will be is there any man who doesn't love flowers? So notice the sense here. The sentence has started with is there any, then we have used man. So is there any man, then who doesn't plus verb. Is there any man who doesn't love flowers? Okay, next. Every plus noun or pronoun plus must plus verb. Everyone must die. So the interrogative sentence will be started with is there any who will not. So is there anyone who will not die? Everyone must die. Is there anyone who will not die? Then there is no use of. If a sentence starts with there is no use of, the interrogative sentence will be started with what's the use of plus verb plus ing. So there is no use of talking to her. Then interrogative form will be what's the use of talking to her? There is no use of talking to her. What's the use of talking to her? Then next type of sentence, friendship is nothing but a name. What's friendship but a name? So I haven't endeavored to show you extra type of rule here. Just I've tried to show you the basic pattern of sentence. Friendship is nothing but a name. What is friendship but a name? You can find this. If you find this type of sentence in your exam or in your tags, you will follow this type of structure. Friendship is nothing but a name. What is friendship but a name? Then it doesn't matter if you got intended. So instead of it does not matter, we'll use what though. What though? It does not matter. What though? We'll use what though instead of it doesn't matter. So it does not matter if we got endangered. We'll use what though if we got endangered. What though if we got endangered. Then it is no use of. Instead of it is no use of, is there any use of? It is no use of telling it to him. So the interrogative will be, is there any use of telling it to him? Dear friends, one point that most often many students forget to use, that to form interrogative sentence you will have to use question mark or mark of interrogation at the end of the sentence. If you don't use the question mark at the end of the sentence, the very correctness of the sentence will go in vain and I may not get full credit. Okay. So dear friends, I have endeavored to discuss the most important and the basic rules of transforming as affirmative into negative or assertive sentence into interrogative one. You will practice home very frequently, most frequently, and if you practice a lot again and again, you will be able to comment mastery over this type of tracks. I hope you will practice following the exercise given in the second paper book. So thank you. I hope you will try to study a lot following my class. Thank you for watching.